the best thing you can do for yourself, rather than take diligent notes about what to eat and what not to eat, is to, like, it's easier said than done. It takes a significant amount of work to sometimes reparent and rechild yourself and work on transgenerational trauma and things that you may carry that don't belong to you. And there are people out there who can help with this, but you really have to get to a place where you're like, I'm showing up the way I am, and I will vibrate with people who are aligned with me. And that's not everyone, and that's okay. I don't need to please everyone as long as I'm showing up in kindness and love and honoring myself and contributing to the world. The end, period.
Yep. Yep. I think that was the hardest. I think that was the hardest thing for me. And still, and I think it's still a daily practice to be with the discomfort of prioritizing yourself and of being able the both and, right? It's like I know that I'm putting myself first and I'm still feeling the discomfort of potentially being worried that someone else is mad at me, and I can hold both of those feelings at the same time and still make sure that I don't abandon myself
Mm-hmm.
and take the actions for me, because I know what that is, and I know that I'm still going to feel maybe a ping of not great as well, and both things can be held by me at the same time. And I think growing that capacity, and I think that having a wide capacity that can hold things while still having the clarity of the right action is one of the biggest skills to creating that aura of authenticity and radiance that you described, and that you champion as well.
Yeah, and it's never perfect. I mean, the way I see it is it's my responsibility to tell someone if I'm angry or I'm perceiving something, and giving them the opportunity to clarify their intention behind what they did or said. And it's also their responsibility. Like, I spent a really long time projecting and anticipating what I thought other people needed, and it just builds up resentment within you when they don't receive it the way you wanted, or they're not grateful for it because they never really wanted it, So, like, let people ask you what they need, and we don't have to fix things for other people. Everyone has their own journey. And I have, when you have little kids, it's different, but my sons are 17 and 19 now. And there's things I see, I don't like it. I'm not going to rescue them because it's their own journey. Like, we all have our own journey, and we have to just honor people's journey. And it may not be what we want for them, but it's for them to figure out.
I mean, that is the best kind of parenting, I think,
And for
honestly.
our husbands and our relationships, because
Yeah.
as women, we're just be like, here, honey, here's your vitamins. I don't want you to get sick. And then you're like, wait, I didn't even take my own vitamins today. Like, I didn't even get to work out because I was so busy doing everything around the house so that they would have an easier day, that I didn't even take care of myself. So it's not about being selfish. It's just about honoring your own needs and checking in with yourself, as opposed to living in the should world. Like, I tell people, stop shoulding all over yourself because, like, no more shoulds. Like, you do it or you don't do it. It feels good. It doesn't feel good. It's the right thing to do, even if it's not fun sometimes. It's the right thing to do from an integrity standpoint, but it's not this should kind of thing.
Completely. And I think something else, because I also, in so many of my courses, and a lot of people always think it's about food. And like we say, it is, there's education to have, like you just talked about glucose. And I think it's important to understand, but a lot of the transformation comes through this shifts in the self-worth, the self-value, the self-love, and all that stuff. And I think that, it's the communication piece and the self expression and the feeling empowered in that. And something that I have adopted for myself as somebody who was similar to you, very hyper vigilant, very codependent in other people's like worlds, and kind of always thought about, was always in their box. But what I had to learn creating a healthy attachment and a healthy relationship with my husband was speaking my own needs and expressing myself. And also coming from a place of believing that he wants to collaborate with me.